Hello, welcome to this update for Asia. So let's see what's happening. This is mainly for the winter weather. We already talked about the tropics, so let's see. And one thing from starting today, we'll be making some shorter videos because we'll be going on vacation till January 7th, and there it's hard to find Wi-Fi. So, but we'll still be here to inform you the most important events. So let's see what's happening. Now there's not anything crazy, just a front in Kazakhstan, some snow possible in parts of Kyrgyzstan and some areas. And let's see, let's start with East Asia today because we have more stuff going on in Japan in some areas. So today's Friday, the 20th, shows some snow in South North Korea, the European model, and this goes there shows some starting central Japan, not northern Japan as well. So this are tomorrow's Saturday. The model has some more snow um, coming to central Japan and those areas, especially those mountains in central Japan, should be more concerned about the snow over the next 5 days. So this is Saturday night, still shows some snow there, even some high elevations further south in Japan. This goes and by Sunday morning still shows some snow central Japan and those areas. So be aware, it might be heavier in those mountains there, central western Japan. Then this goes into Sunday afternoon, still showing snow even to northern parts of Japan. Sunday, this goes into Monday, still some snow, a little bit lighter Monday and Tuesday. Still some snow on Wednesday. It calms down a little bit, only a finger to northern Japan. Then Wednesday shows later Wednesday night, some more snow again there. Then this goes, and like the 26th, the European has also still some snow. The 27th has more snow there, so just a lot of snow from now to January. And by January 1st, does show a little bit of snow, but nothing that crazy. So be aware, but the thing that sticks out here is the accumulation the next several days. So 12 hours, the Europeans are raising 24 centimeters, northern central Japan, 24 hours, a little bit in the morning in the central areas, and 2 days has raised some more snow, close to 50 centimeters in a spot or two in the mountains there, and some more further south in Japan, in those high elevations. And the next 4 days increases in parts of the mountains all the way to 100 centimeters in a spot or two. Some 81 centimeters, 75. So be careful, especially with the avalanche danger in those areas. So be aware. And over the next 4 days shows more of most central northern Japan and more through those high elevations further south. And 4 days in other areas shows a little bit in South Korea, nothing that crazy. North Korea too, and China it's not showing anything crazy in the next 4 days, just some high elevations, central China, and more further south there in those mountains. In kind of the Himalayas shows some 18 centimeters, a little bit in some areas there, southeastern China, and shows some more northern Bhutan, a little bit of snow next 4 days, in northeastern India, and more Nepal, especially northernmost Nepal into northernmost India. So be aware, and already shows that snow Tajikistan a little bit next 4 days, 11 centimeters or more, 9 centimeters, some whispers in Afghanistan, and some in Kyrgyzstan there. So be aware, some central areas there. It shows more to western China too. So shows some 15 centimeters, 13 centimeters, 9 centimeters, and more in eastern Kazakhstan. So be aware, and more like central Kazakhstan to Russia. That's already northern, central northern Kazakhstan, but most of southern, southwestern Kazakhstan more quiet. Shows most of western Russia, northwestern Russia, more snow there, especially northwestern most Russia, It shows southern Russia just in the Caucasus, Samar, and into Turkey shows more snow for eastern Turkey next 4 days. More for central Turkey there, and even some spots in western Turkey. So be aware in Georgia, in the Caucasus, and it's already showing next 4 days more snow in Iran, even northeastern Iraq. So be aware. And there's a finger or two in Lebanon, but like very very little. So let's see, be aware in Iran, those mountains and those areas there, all the way to central Iran. And let's see what it shows. So shows now some snow in Kazakhstan. That front continues Kyrgyzstan, and more there throughout like northernmost Pakistan, maybe in the Himalayas. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Sorry about that. And shows here like northern Russia, but back out west shows Sunday the 22nd, some more northern Kazakhstan. It starts going to Mongolia, some to Russia, Mongolia there, and later on the 23rd shows more central Mongolia, those high elevations in China too, and this goes there into northern China, shows on the 24th a little bit, and back into Japan. So be aware. Now for like the GFS shows us a similar thing as well. Those fronts in Japan, a lot of snow there, so especially those central mountains until like until like next Tuesday, but after the 26th starts with some snow again. So be aware. Shows there in Kazakhstan and Russia those fronts of snow lighter than in Japan, but still some snow. Kyrgyzstan and a spot or two later into Mongolia, the 23rd as well. So be aware, northernmost China, not northernmost, like northwestern China, and more there. Into Christmas doesn't show much for the west, but later than like the 27th shows continuous snow in Russia, northern Russia, and into Kazakhstan maybe. But after the 28th shows a bigger system in Iran and part of Azerbaijan, in those areas. In the 29th, some in Kazakhstan. But we'll keep watching. That's kind of far out. So the snow accumulation next 4 days, the GFS has also in Japan there, just 4 days close to 96 centimeters, some spots to 94, and more there throughout western Japan. So be careful, those mountains. And let's see, has a spot or two in northern China, North Korea, and more for central China, those high elevations, and northernmost India, in the Himalayas, and some more in Tajikistan next 4 days. Into northwestern China, and Kazakhstan has a little bit there, and more throughout southern Russia and eastern Kazakhstan. And Mongolia shows me northern western Mongolia, some snow, but maybe a finger or two into eastern Mongolia. And then shows there into Turkey. The GFS heavier snow throughout some areas southern Turkey in the next 4 days, but more to central eastern Turkey as well, in the western part of the Caucasus. And more to Russia, northwestern Russia shows more snow there. Be aware, especially those very north areas. If there's like snow and wind, might be some like blizzard conditions. And just for curiosity, let's see 8 days. 8 days increases in Iran more, and does increase more in Japan. So 8 days in Japan shows all the way to like 167 centimeters. So be aware. And 8 days with the European also increases a lot in Japan, like 203 in some mountains. So bear watch there over the next few weeks. And 8 days in the Himalayas shows a lot in northern India, northern Nepal. So we'll watch that as well. Be aware in Iraq and those areas. Now for like wind gusts, because this is important too, shows some scared gusty winds throughout the seas there of Japan, especially in the ocean, but shows like Friday into Saturday, more winds building around the sea there, and even some interior spots in the mountains with snow. Be careful with wind and snow together. Then this goes Saturday, Sunday shows more winds like central Japan's a little bit higher gusts in the mountains. For the 23rd shows some more wind. The 24th, this goes there. The 25th show more wind again from a low pressure system further north. So northernmost areas, some higher gusts. Then the 26th shows some higher gusts throughout central Japan. There will likely be snow too on the 26th. Be careful in the mountains. This goes there. And still some wind on the 27th near Japan there. So yeah, and into eastern Russia shows some higher gusts already today. Some specific spots there near like easternmost Russia. This goes Friday into Saturday, mainly the ocean there, but shows some spots like in easternmost Russia. It even goes like 79 to 90 km/h gusts. Be careful. Alright, Sunday morning still shows some very high gusts, close to 100 near easternmost Russia. This goes into Monday, the 23rd, the 24th, still some high gusts there between Alaska and Russia. So be careful, and that area is just like very windy, so it kind of continues but shows dying down on the 28th a little bit. So be aware. Like further west, the does show like Siberia or some areas mainly close to the oceans, the higher gusts, but in the interior areas show like a spot or two, might be something a day or two, but nothing crazy. More closer to the coast there. And let's see, so the 23rd, the 24th, nothing crazy there. Just like southernmost Russia near Japan, because those systems in Japan, so be aware there. And southeasternmost Russia, closer to Japan. Then the 26th, the 27th, still some stuff there. Starting that peninsula there of Russia. The 28th shows some higher gusts. So be careful. And this might change because this changes a lot the forecast, but we'll keep monitoring. Now Friday shows a finger to central to northern China and southern Russia. This goes shows more stuff central northern China, those highlands near like the 21st, the 22nd, finger to, but the 23rd less, and shows the system Mongolia later, the 24th, a little bit higher gusts. And this goes into China, shows Sahara gusts on Christmas on the 25th, those areas north central China, northern China, maybe even to North Korea, spot or two there, the 26th. Then this goes still some stuff in northern China, the rest is too far. The Himalayas still have those higher gusts, like especially in Tibet in China, but in northern Nepal as well sometimes. So this goes mainly in the afternoons, those higher gusts, the Himalayas. Then Saturday shows calm, but in Sunday afternoons still some higher gusts. Be careful, close to even like 70 to 80 km/h gusts, or even more depending on the location. Monday afternoon shows yet again there, if you zoom in, show like 101 km/h gusts. Some spots in northern Nepal shows higher in those northernmost areas. So be careful those gusts. The 23rd, the 24th, that doesn't show as much, but still, yeah, in the afternoon shows some crazier gusts there. So be careful. The 25th, and yeah, and it continues there. So be aware now for like Kazakhstan, those areas shows a little bit gustier this from today, even to Tajikistan, but nothing crazy. The 20th, the 21st still shows something, not something, but like right to those mountains there, like near Kyrgyzstan and China. So this goes the 22nd. Nothing that crazy across those areas, but Kazakhstan, a finger or two, like 44 km/h gust, a day or two. The 25th shows maybe more central Kazakhstan, so 60 km/h gust. More like shows something eastern Kazakhstan, even close to like 90 or something. Later, the 26th, the 27th, nothing that crazy, but still in eastern Kazakhstan, maybe like southeastern Kazakhstan shows some higher gusts in some spots there. So the 28th, this goes, the 29th, and the rest is kind of far. Now like southwestern Asia, Shows Saudi Arabia a little bit higher gust now, Friday, but nothing that crazy. This goes and kind of dies down. But even later into like southern Iraq and Kuwait and some areas, a tiny bit gustier starting Saturday. Then this goes Sunday, still near the seas in Kuwait, but nothing that crazy. Monday dies down. Tuesday, still a little bit calm. To the 25th, the 26th starts showing southern Iran the possibility of some higher gusts. The 26th shows in Afghanistan there. Finger two, the 27th does show more like southern Pakistan or some areas, some higher gusts in Iran and Afghanistan. And shows there Friday, Saturday, the 29th, and the rest is kind of far. So further west now, near Turkey and Georgia, it's more calm now, but a finger through the Caspian Sea, some days in southern Turkey, those fronts. So be aware that the 21st, still the Caspian Sea, be careful the coast of Azerbaijan. And sorry, I don't know why this keeps showing up. So the 22nd, the 23rd still shows a finger too, and we might have a front into Turkey the 24th with some higher winds there. Still the 25th, but a little bit less, more in the mountains there. The 26th shows some more wind gusts in Turkey. The 27th, not as much, but finger two in Georgia. So be aware. And further north into like Russia, shows some Arctic winds far north, but nothing crazy as of now. But northwestern Russia might have a gust wind and a spot or two there. Some air, so be careful. Later into like central northern Russia, this goes, and more stuff later, lingering near the Arctic there. And so be aware from time to time. And now, just to like kind of compare the GFS. The GFS usually doesn't show as high as the European, but might show something. So shows there in Eastern Russia too, those higher gusts. It's just like the European. So central Japan, sometimes that snow, especially at after the 26th. But doesn't show as much. But on the 27th, does show a little bit higher there. Central Eastern Japan too. On the Himalayas, it shows as well those very high gusts. A little bit disturbed into Russia as those fronts go by, and yeah, so be careful in those areas. The temperature is still very cold, especially across Russia. Some spots close to like minus 43. Be careful, the wind chills might be even close to minus 50 or minus 60. And that can be really dangerous, so be careful. Some very low temperatures across much of Siberia into eastern Russia. Japan shows like central Japan -7 and -8, even in the north a little bit colder. So this goes into like the Himalayas and those areas. Tajikistan -26, -27, Western Mongolia and some areas central Mongolia. Be careful too. Most of northern central Kazakhstan very cold, and northernmost China very cold. But this already like, so let's go today, Friday. So today already shows many parts of Mongolia, Russia very cold there. But Friday, let's see East Asia first. So shows very cold in Siberia, -41. Cold into northern China too, so like -27. Mongolia, southern China, this goes there. Still in Japan, very cold in the mountains, but not as cold as like Russia and China. And this goes, and still very cold in Mongolia, central western Mongolia, some spots of southern Russia. Be careful in central China to western China, those negative temperatures. Some bigger areas like Beijing, some -1, and even colder sometimes. The 25th, this goes, still cold. The 27th, of course. Northern China shows like some -31. The 28th, in some sectors, central Siberia, all the way to -46 degrees Celsius, right on that white dot. So be careful, some -45, -44, and further east all the way to like -47, -48, a town there. So really stay safe from those brutally cold temperatures and stay warm. This goes and yeah. And now just switch something here. So let's see a little bit further south in China, because central southeastern China sometimes shows a colder too, like some -4 in some areas. This goes and even further south, some 3 degrees in Shanghai, 2 degrees, sometimes 4 degrees. Central southeastern China, be aware this goes and maybe a day or two further south, but nothing that crazy. Even shows southernmost China, they are too a little bit warmer. But yeah, be aware. And some areas during the night, like northern Laos, shows us some 7 degrees, so some 5 degrees in the northern Vietnam and some parts of southern China. So be aware. And Taiwan, some 8 degrees in the high elevations. And yeah, so stay safe, those cold temperatures. And just looking at Japan again, the European some spots like -17 degrees, some -15. So be aware in the mountains, stay warm too. Sometimes a little bit less cold during the day, but as this front comes, shows remaining colder those mountains. So be aware. Further west now shows still Kazakhstan, very cold. Most of Kazakhstan, northern Uzbekistan, those negative temperatures, and the mountains of Uzbekistan still some -18, and even less Tajikistan, even close to -26, and Tibet and northernmost India's, not India, but in China, is very low temperatures in the Himalayas. Northernmost India in the Himalayas is -22, so very cold. Those high elevations, including northern Nepal, be careful there. Northern Bhutan, and outside the mountains, some 12 degrees to 3 degrees, to 18 degrees in southern Nepal, and central Afghanistan, cold as well. This goes there, shows to those spots central Russia and to Mongolia, very cold too, and to central Kazakhstan. So be aware, Saturday the 21st, still cold, mainly in Russia and some spots in Mongolia, but this goes there. Shows those spots right between Kazakhstan, China, Russia, Mongolia, it's a -31, it's a -32, so be careful the wind chills. They'll be -40 or something, and it's still very cold in eastern Kazakhstan, those areas. This goes to central Mongolia, very cold, most of China, so be careful. And this goes there late on the 26th, shows all the way to Turkmenistan, those negative temperatures, most of Uzbekistan, and it's in Iran, those higher elevations, and most northern Iran and eastern Iran as well, northeastern Iran. So be aware that the 27th kind of warms up during the day, but still those colder temperatures at night, and some spots in Tajikistan close to -26. So be aware the 28th, this goes even later on the 28th, shows very cold in Afghanistan, even to -16, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and northern Iran, those areas. So be aware, this goes there still cold the 29th, 30th, mainly to Russia, be careful in Russia there. The 30th, still in Kazakhstan, northern Russia, very cold, and on the 30th, it was colder in the end there, all the way to -13, some more across the northern mountains, -17, and some other spots there in Turkmenistan as well. So be careful, this goes, and still cold later. But be aware, a little bit further west into Turkey and the Caucasus does show cold in Georgia and Russia and the Caucasus, Azerbaijan and eastern Turkey, the mountains, and even kind of chill into Syria and Lebanon, close to 1 degree. But during the night in Turkey shows those colder temperatures there. Be careful. And to Azerbaijan, especially in Iran, but I showed you Iran already. So let's see, Friday still cold in Turkey, but the European has a spot or two, in Iraq and in Syria, some close to -1 temperatures, and northern Jordan, very cold in Turkey still, especially the mountains. During the day, a little bit less, but still cold, and at night, -9 to -12 in the mountains. this goes, and like during the night Saudi Arabia even close to 2 degrees, near the western coast some 25 degrees, but Yemen some 11, 10 degrees, 12 degrees in some other areas. So yeah, you are in Iraq, in Iran, colder there. Northeastern Iraq shows in through the 23rd, still cold in Turkey, and the Caucasus is a minus 11 to minus 9. So be careful there. This goes into Turkey there. Still some colder temperatures in Western Turkey, finger two into the 25th, shows more in the Caucasus, colder there. Turkey, so like minus 8, minus 5, so be aware. And shows in Azerbaijan, some spots there, still colder, so minus 4. And yeah, so be aware, so minus 7 did this go. Still cold in Turkey on the 28th, Western Turkey, primarily Eastern Turkey, and even Jordan there, into northeasternmost Egypt and Jordan. So be aware, those areas into northwestern Russia, very cold, not as cold as eastern Russia. Some days a little bit less cold, but still cold there. So be careful, stay safe. Those that snow, those cold temperatures and everything, and be aware of fog as well. Especially as parts of India has been reporting some dense fog in recent days. So be aware there. And for north to Kazakhstan, some fog as well, especially those cold mornings, and even those cold areas, like there's possibly a freezing fog, like in the purple here. So be aware of that as well. A more scared fog in some parts of Southeast Asia too, mainly the morning. So be aware of that. And now, just to see something here for curiosity, if you're looking for like a white Christmas, during Christmas shows more snow in Russia, some northwestern Russia, but doesn't show much like snowing elsewhere. But some mountainous areas might already have some snow on them, like the snow dap on the 25th shows already some snow accumulated in Japan. In Russia, so shows some very crazy snow depth, so a lot of snow already accumulated there. And in the Himalayas, snow on the mountains, uh, not snowing, but already shows like snow accumulated there. Kazakhstan, parts of the Caucasus, and Turkey might be white as well. So yeah, so stay safe with that, like the winter weather and everything, and also the rainfall. We'll make some other videos about the tropics later, but be aware, like rain, snow, and freezing rain is also a possibility with those fronts. So be careful and stay safe.